Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip, unzip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it, view it, code it, jam, unlock it, surf it, scroll it, pause it, click it, cross it, crack it, switch, update it, name it, read it, tune it, print it, scan it, send it, fax, rename it, touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, turn it, leave it, start, format it, technologic. Technologic.
Live from studios in Self Hall on the beautiful campus of Jacksonville State University, it's the Hey Techies Show. Now, here are your hosts in chairs that should have been thrown out years ago, Michael, Bruce, and the Guru.
Well, we were just reminiscing before the show out in what was called the Green Room about our very first night on the radio, and ironically, the same issue was what was causing us to be delayed tonight.
110 episodes later,
yes,
came back to haunt us.
We're still being haunted by a board that needs to go the way of the dodo bird, but we're thankful for it nonetheless.
Which, if you'd like to become a patron.
That's right. Yeah. It's a perfect time to be a patron.
Yes, it is.
Sorry about that delay of the Hey Techie Show, but we are back. It was not a 2-week hiatus. We did have to take a hiatus last week.
It almost became a 2-week hiatus.
It almost did.
I was about at the point like, well, we're done. Let's go
actually,
home.
If you heard the drop-off in the signal there, we had to reboot the board. There was a cue stuck. Apparently, one of these channels, you cannot get the cue unstuck, and that's what was causing it. So,
but they always say if the problem's acute, you must reboot. So we rebooted the board.
We had to, yes. You know, that whole saying is sometimes you have to reboot your computer if it really does fix it.
It's like tech support. Have you turned it off and back on again?
Correct. Well,
we hadn't done that yet. So
we had to.
Because Michael's like, well, we can restart the board. I'm like, well, we have no choice at this point.
No,
might as well.
I knew that light. I didn't think that light was on normally, way over there in the corner. I never noticed it, so.
Yes, it's kind of hard to see if it's on or off, but it's off.
No, it's off right now. Well, welcome to the Hey Techie Show, and we're so glad you are here. I am going to ask Guru a little question here. We did get everything started recording, correct?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, I know we are on
yes,
YouTube.
Yes,
I was just double checking.
This is rolling.
Okay, good. Well, not that it much.
You may have to edit about 5 minutes off the front of it. I just started at some point.
Oh no, that's okay.
Yeah,
that's good. We're good. Okay, that's fine. If you would like to call and be on the show, we do actually have a phone number, 256-782-5600. When I am able to see the phone, and at some point, that's okay. At some point, Guru will fix that.
He'll do his job.
He is doing his job. So, Bruce, how are you this evening?
Wonderful, man. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
A lot's happened in 2 weeks.
Yes, it has.
So sometimes it seems like nothing happens,
and sometimes it. You know, we will talk about Amazon tonight, but there was some breaking news before we came on, which will be interesting to follow.
But before we do that, I've got some breaking news.
Yes, you do, but just hold on a second.
Okay.
This won't take long because we don't know a lot about it, and it's Whole Foods is saying they did have a data breach.
Yes.
And, of course, we'll cover Sonic, what we know about that, which is probably not much.
Is that your breaking news?
No,
he does have really.
I have other breaking news.
He has other breaking news. Really, really show-stopping breaking news.
This is earth-shattering. Like, I don't have a sound effect other than that. I have this one. That's not really.
Wow, that's
That's
like 70s or 80s.
That's anticlimactic.
News break
Yeah.
or something.
So the
like
news
that.
with the guru. What is it?
Are we ready for my news?
Yes.
Yeah, I kinda
So
wanna hear it.
So
we're all ears.
I'm on edge.
In case you were living under a rock the last few weeks, Bruce, I know Bruce has. Just so you know, Apple have new devices for sale.
Oh, yay.
So I said this on the show, like I'm going to get a device when Apple comes out, when I'm ready.
Yeah,
I've had my last phone for 3 years, and it was time for a new one.
I would say so.
And if those who are regulars to the show know how much I dislike some of the larger screen devices, right?
Sure.
I've said that many times.
You have said
I'm
it
an
many times.
anti-phablet person.
Yes, that's
Because solely because of the size of the screen.
true. Right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am now the proud owner of an iPhone 8 Plus.
Oh, wow.
I have the phablet.
Yeah,
I have the phablet.
it's not as big as I thought it. It just doesn't
But
seem as unwieldy.
I will say
It
this. I'm going to let you sit here in a minute.
Okay.
You're holding your hand up. Oh, it's like it's
Let
in a
me
new
see.
toy.
Bruce, he wants
Well,
to call 911.
Someone
Yeah.
upstairs had one of our friends of the
Yes.
show. Yeah,
But
Siri called
the,
911.
the sole reason I got this
Yes.
was the dual lens camera. And let me tell you, that portrait mode is amazing.
You haven't taken my picture yet. Will.
Well-
We'll
Welcome.
take your picture. It's so cool how it does like the
Right.
effect.
Right.
It's amazing.
Welcome to 2014, maybe?
No, let's take your picture. Come here. Hold a minute. I'll take yours too. Let's see.
Bruce is always first. that is quite a look, Bruce.
No, look how good it looks.
Yeah.
see it?
Yeah,
There
it's
you go.
excellent.
Pretty
Oh man, that is great. It looks like that should be on a newspaper somewhere.
See what?
That's
Looks like
Yeah.
it should
We'll
be.
do
in the-
yours, Michael.
Should be in the portraits whenever you pick them up from the store. You know the picture frames.
hey, that could be my new Twitter post if my hair's not too bad.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks great. It looks great.
I will say this.
I look like a dork.
Apple has always done very well with their cameras.
They have. It brings out the
and I'll say this too with the processor on this phone.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Oh,
they
let me
are-
tell you, because I
guess
had a three.
You will. I won't.
Well, no, let me just say from my experience, you can give all the nerdy tech specs, but
I
just
don't know them.
well, this has the A11 Bionic.
Bionic.
But let me just tell you
Yes,
the difference
Bionic.
between, I forget what one the 6 had, but just the difference in 3 years worth of iteration of hardware. That thing is smoking
It was
fast.
the 8. It was the A8, wasn't it?
Probably.
The 6 is
Something
the
like that.
A8.
But
It
it was,
still has Touch ID, right?
yeah, that one has Touch ID. It was smoking fast compared to that 6.
Oh yeah. Smoking.
Smoking, baby.
Just not a Samsung, but it's smoking.
No, it doesn't catch on fire.
Okay. But you did purchase it partly for the battery life, right? I mean the battery
Well,
life
that is a nice side effect. Like my battery's like at 50-something%, and I've been using it a lot today.
Right.
Like I was in the doctor's office this morning, and what do you
Right.
do when you're waiting for the doctor? You're on the phone.
right.
Like everybody else. So I've used it heavily first part of the day, and I've used it this afternoon a lot. And I mean, I've just at 50%. That's the lowest I've gotten the battery since I've owned it.
Okay.
And you know, we talked about the 8 and the 8 Plus have wireless charging.
Yes.
And I thought, well, that's great and wonderful. I don't know if I'd use it. And plus, I can leave mine in the case all the time. So it's like, is it going to work through the case? Well, I had a chance. Somebody had one of those, you know, I want to say Qi chargers.
Yes.
So I just sat on there just to see if it's working. It ain't going to work. It started charging with the case on it.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is. With the case on it.
With
There
the
you go.
case
If you
on
were
it.
curious about that, with the case will do wireless charging.
Yeah. It does great. The pictures are great.
Well,
I've
there's
taken
no
one so
telling what your
far, like I said.
passcode's going to be now with Bruce over there.
Bruce, don't be breaking my phone.
I'm not.
I will say this. I'm very disappointed in the whole like backup restore.
Oh, I
Apple.
know. And you're going to tell
I was
about,
fussing.
you're
going
gonna
to
give us an update about that later.
Yeah, we can do that, but
Part of it made sense to me.
Yeah, me too.
but they call it a backup. It's not a backup.
Well, I mean, it is kind of.
It's backup sorta.
I don't think they back up certain things anymore.
They
I
don't.
think I told you that, but anyway.
Things in the secure enclave, of course, not going to back it up. But like some settings didn't even back up.
No,
And I don't mean like fingerprint settings. I mean like settings.
I understand that. I just think that they consider that identifiable. It identifies.
But it don't even
you.
back up to your own computer. Like,
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I've
one. I
restored-
really thought
let me
that
tell
it
you,
would do that.
I've restored. I set this phone up as new 3 times.
Right.
Once from the iCloud.
Okay.
Once where you can transfer it from your existing phone
Yes.
to your new phone. That's a new feature in iOS 11.
Yes.
And I've transferred my backup from my computer, my Mac.
Yes.
All 3 times I had different results. and all 3 times not everything transferred. Just saying. Apple,
Yeah, I
Tim
gotcha.
Cook, get your act together.
Well, he would have listened to our show, but we were
But
10
there
minutes
was-
late, so I don't
Yeah,
think
I
he's
know.
going to
Can
listen
I
to
open
that.
your play music?
Yeah, I don't care. Man,
I'm not opening anything without
He
asking.
wants to hear the speakers.
I do.
Yeah.
And the speakers are really good. Like the other day, I was driving my truck, and it doesn't have any. I don't have any like auxiliary in it or
Correct,
anything. So I just set it in the seat
Sure.
and put on a podcast and turned it up, and I was driving while I was listening to my podcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't like being through the stereo, but it was really good for a smartphone.
Well, don't forget about HeyTechiesShow.com, and
Yeah.
you can get everything about Hey Techie Show there.
Whether you
and be able
want
to
it or
see
not.
us. Well, yeah, whether you want it or
Yeah.
not. See us on the show notes and all those things is
Yeah.
there at HeyTechiesShow.com, and how to reach us. But if you would like to reach us via phone, we've told you the phone number. Also, Hey Techie questions at HeyTechiesShow.com is the email address, and you can get something to us
And
real quick.
Send your complaints to Bruce at HeyTechieShow.com.
Yes, by all means.
Send all your compliments
actually,
to
send-
Michael at HeyTechieShow.com.
Actually, send anything to us. I mean, pretty much, you know.
Just say, hey,
I want to
let's
say
get-
we had an email. Did we not?
No.
Not this week.
Mm,
We did have one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, I feel like well,
Yeah.
I
Somebody said-
missed it. I missed it if we did.
I'll find it.
Oh, I can see what Bruce is playing on my phone.
You
Ta-
know,
Taylor Swift.
well, I'm gonna wait till the break. I want to hear what it sounds
Well,
like.
I had it. I was able to control it with my Apple Watch.
There you go. Stop it or start it. That's right. And Apple Watch, and not the new one though. He's still using his current Apple Watch.
Well, it does have the new app. The watch.
You did get the
watch,
update.
Watch OS 4.
Now, what about the watch? Have you noticed anything new that you might like about that?
Those, I mean, like the achievement rings on your fitness.
Mm-hmm.
They do all this fancy animated mess. But I mean, I don't use it a whole lot.
Right. But I'm talking about useful things.
No, it's not useful. But what I primarily use my Apple Watch for is the activity tracker stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And as a second screen to my watch, so if I get a notification, I can just look at my watch.
Sure,
I have to pull
absolutely.
my phone out.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's nothing. Remind me, we got to talk about the Apple Watch 3 Cellular. There's a story
Yes.
about that. So.
Yes, that's right. So when we come back, we'll move along. We've had to cut our break here short, but we'll be back in just a mere moments.
Meow, meow,
Mere moments, we'll be back. Hey Techies Show.
We're just getting started. Plenty more Hey Techies Show for your listening pleasure.
As we come back, it's Michael, Bruce, and the Guru for the Hey Techie Show, and I've been asked to mention this. Jacksonville High School reunion class of 67, Bruce. Friday the 29th, Jacksonville High School cafeteria. I think that might be the cafetorium there. 4:30 to 6:30. And then looks like after the game, and then Saturday the 30th, Heroes in Jacksonville,
1967.
Yeah, 1967.
Awesome.
Bruce was barely even thought of.
50 years.
Me too. Yeah, 50 years. That's 50.
50
That's big
years.
50, yeah.
Yeah, my big 20 years next year.
So class reunion of the 50th year.
Yeah. Well, that's
It's going to be at Jacksonville High.
I think Hey Techies should go crash the party.
Yeah, I was going to say
Sure.
that. Bruce will be there. But speaking of, since this is local, and you're speaking of cafetoriums. Man, I don't know what was going on at campus today, but I decided to go eat at the cafeteria.
I thought that was yesterday.
I was here 2 days.
They had a college fair on campus today.
Man, they really need to figure out how many seats they can sell, because I no joke walked around at least a dozen times from one end to the other till I found a seat.
Really?
Yes. And they need to know that 4 people cannot sit at one table.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
The Hey Techie Show critiquing
Yes.
the Sodexo on
all,
campus.
all I'm saying is count how many seats you really have. Let's be realistic.
What are you supposed to do? Keep people standing outside?
Count how
Sorry,
many,
come
count,
in.
count how many chairs you have and divide it by 2.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. And just say, sorry, we're at max capacity. You can visit one of the other dozen places to eat on campus.
You can visit Java Jolt.
Java Jolt's not
I
on
know.
campus.
You can visit. What's
You got
that
the-
place?
you got-
Jasmine's.
you got-
Jasmine's. That's
You
it.
got the
You have
Wow
the
Wing.
diner?
You got the Wow Wing.
The
The
Wow
Wow's
Wing.
next door. The
Chick-fil-A.
diner.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
All the stuff down in TMB.
Wish I'd known you were
Man,
here, Bruce. I'd have had lunch with you. You should have told me.
Well, good thing you didn't. We wouldn't have had anywhere to
You'd
sit.
had to sit together for
Yeah.
sure.
You couldn't come by and visit.
We had to sit on the floor and say kumbaya.
I see how you are. You won't,
I was here for a very short period. I didn't even stay the whole time.
I see. Excuses.
I'll let you know when I'm here next week.
So, Guru, I want to know. You obviously got iOS 11.
Well, it came pre-installed, yes.
Right. So, what was your first impressions? Things you liked, things you hate.
Let's see.
I know Bruce doesn't care. We're going to get
Let
to
me
his
think.
stories.
No, I'll say this: the processor's great, and the speakers are so much better.
and it's hard for me-
I told you that's one of the complaints I have. about this
I'll
phone.
say it's hard for me to compare because I went from new hardware.
Okay.
Because the hardware is so much faster.
It is.
I did put 11 on my old device
Mm-hmm.
because I did that transfer. I tried that transfer.
Oh, okay.
Which is a cool feature. So if you get a new phone and they're both on 11, you can actually
Right.
transfer your
Transfer
stuff,
stuff.
which
Phone to
doesn't-
phone.
It works sorta, but that's okay. We'll give. I already griped about that.
Which
once.
was the you're gonna do? I just thought of something. Which was the best of the 3? Which you think got the most setting?
from my PC through iTunes.
Okay.
Yeah, that hands down.
Okay. All right.
In order to do the iCloud backup, I had to get more iCloud storage. I had to pay 99 cents a month.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I mean, they give you 10 gigs free or whatever free, but
It's that much? I thought it was 5.
well, maybe 5, but it may be 5, but
think it's
that's
5.
not enough to do a backup.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Yeah, so
So-
anyway, I like iOS 11. First thoughts, I like it. I haven't really dug into all the features. I did notice a little bug with the, we talked. I don't know if we talked about this on the show. The Wi-Fi, how you go up to the control center and you swipe up and turn Bluetooth on and off, Wi-Fi on and off, airplane mode. Did we talk about that?
That's correct. We haven't gotten to talk about it yet.
Yeah. Well, that's a little buggy. The Wi-Fi on and off, and it's not.
And it doesn't really cut it on and off. We got to talk about.
Yeah, we
got
to talk about that, but I'll save that for when we talk about that. Let me just.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. Now the bug that got publicized about the Outlook.
Yeah,
of
Outlook
Office
app.
365.
Office 365.
I did not get affected by that personally, but I think because it was a fresh install.
Yeah, I think
I read something later that was affected if you upgraded to iOS 11. You got hit by that, but we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, it would have been nice if the email they sent out on campus would have filtered by people that actually use it.
that is a good point. If
Well-
you could have done that, yeah. More of Bruce's complaints.
Right here at the Hey Techie
Yeah,
Show.
right here at the Hey Techie.
You want to
If that-
complain too? 256-782-5600.
5600.
I
You can complain with Bruce.
I do have a complaint.
Kindly, please.
The podcast app that comes built
Yes, that's the complaint. Tell me the
awful.
What do you mean?
It's just it's not very user friendly. Like whenever I
How's it any different
okay,
than the
I
app they had on there before?
subscribe to multiple podcasts.
Yeah.
And Bruce, you probably do as well.
Yeah.
So when you listen to them, you want to listen to them in chronological order. Like I want to listen to my oldest one first, no matter what podcast it is. Like I have podcast ABC and Hey Techies.
Sure.
So I want to listen to them in the order they were released, right? So you're not listening to all Hey Techies, like 5 of them you have there backed up. You want to you get tired of hearing this for like 10 hours. So you listen in the order in which they were released.
Yeah.
Right.
You can do that, but you have to dig around. It's like multiple screens you have to go into to get to that, where you didn't have to do that before. And another thing with the previous podcast app that came loaded with the iOS,
Yes.
you could very easily say with an episode, whether you download or not, you say Marcus listened, and it would just go away as an unlistened podcast very easily. Can't do that.
You can't do that. Really?
You can download it, or you can share it, or you can delete it.
Huh.
Or play it. The only way to mark as played is basically delete it or play it. Actually play it all the way to the end. It's silly. And I looked for some alternatives, and there's not really any alternatives for iOS that I like that were free, because I'm not going to pay for a podcast app. Sorry, I'm kind of that way. But anyway, that's my big complaint. But I think maybe Apple will fix that. I hope.
Yeah, I see that. So if you hold down on it, you got delete episode, delete from library, save episode, play next.
But why can't they put a Marcus played? I mean, you had that before.
I wonder if it's under edit.
I didn't find it.
No, that's
that's
for the library.
And I found other people online with similar complaints.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to have these things. Somebody changed it, and, it's not a surprise, actually.
Yeah, but
to me.
One thing I did notice, I don't know if it's the hardware or the OS, when somebody calls me and I don't have them as a contact, it'll actually give the business name.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
Let's see. I think I had one earlier. Yeah, it had it was a local business that called me.
Okay.
And it had their name, because, if the caller ID is published with the name, like,
exactly.
You think a traditional caller ID. Usually don't get that on a smartphone. You just get the number. And if it's not a contact, you get just the number.
You normally don't get that on an iPhone.
Well, maybe.
I've had that for a long time.
Sorry.
Just saying. Two phones ago.
Well, that's new to me. I thought, that's pretty cool. I knew who that was without having to, do I really answer this? Because I'm one of those people, if I don't know you, I ain't going to answer the phone. Sorry.
On my phone, unless it's in the context, I only get
unless you call Hey Techies and won't answer the phone.
I get, for a while, I've gotten, if it's a business.
What app did you use? It was just natively? Because I have Android. It's never done that.
Native. And I also
Some setting I got turned. Sure.
I also get suspected spam, and it shows up red whenever they call.
Yeah. I like to answer those.
I do too. And sometimes they won't talk to me. I'm just like, hello? And they're like, oh, it's the person. Hang on. It's like, but we were going to talk. I was going to find out who you were. And then I was going to harass you.
But all in all, I think it's a solid update. And it's hard for me to compare, like I said, because I changed from a several-year-old device to this one with the upgrade. I never used iOS 11 on my iPhone 6. I used it very, very briefly.
Well, I saw you send out a text earlier about some of the Pixel rumors. Are you saving those for rumors?
I did that.
That was you that did that.
That's rumors.
I just saw the link and I was like, I'm not opening it. Well, I've been trying to stay away.
While we're on this whole iOS 11 kick, let me just mention this. We mentioned a second ago about a bug in 11.0 with Office 365 and Outlook.
Yeah.
And the problem with it, if you use the native mail application,
yes,
the
which
built-in,
I like.
Yeah, it's a good app. The Apple Mail app with an Outlook.com, Office 365, or Exchange. So a lot of your corporate customers, and even like students here at JSU, they have Office 365. You will receive mail, but you cannot send mail or reply to mail. So sending mail out was not working.
But it wasn't everybody.
It wasn't everybody.
But now I know some people that upgraded to iOS 11 and they didn't have this problem.
And it was intermittent from what reports are. And the people who were having problems were primarily those who upgraded from 10 to 11. I didn't have problems personally, but I had a new device, so that could be the reason it wasn't an upgrade. But I will say, there was a workaround. I say it was because it's been fixed. You could use the Outlook app, which is a good app. It's a good app, but they have released a fix, 11.0.1.
Yeah,
it came out I think yesterday,
right,
or late the day before, but Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know whether it was just for that. I think that there's probably some security fixes,
Oh.
some incidental things that maybe had to affect.
Okay,
that.
10 full hatters out there.
Well, I don't
Michael.
know. I will tell you this: you wouldn't experience the problem unless you had an iPhone. So,
That's true.
if you didn't have that, you're good. You're good.
If you had certain Android phones, you're going to get hacked by Bluetooth.
Well, you know,
I haven't. I wouldn't say that just on.
I haven't gotten hacked yet.
I'll say this: I was sitting in a room the other day scanning, and guess what? One of them came up, an iPhone.
Well, because it has not been updated.
Somebody had not updated it, but that's with everything. I
agree.
And we'll get to
Mine's
this.
not updated because I can't.
But
Because-
Apple devices tend to take updates longer in their life.
Sure.
And that's a true statement.
I know, I
You
agree,
skim over
but-
that, that's a true statement.
No, sure. But I also got a new watch, and on that I saw that there was one of these watches
Okay.
that was red on the screen, and I was like,
Is it your watch?
let me check that Bluetooth address. And I was like, okay, it's not me. So I was like, I know I've updated this thing.
Right.
But then I was looking around the room, and I was like, well, there's 3 other people in here that have the same watch.
Well, there you go.
But based on where it was at, I was like, I think it's that person.
Oh, good grief. Okay. Now, something else I want to ask you. What do you think about the taskbar at the bottom? I know that's what it's called, not what they're calling it. I was getting
You're talking about the dock?
the dock. Thank you. Dadgummit.
Well, that's on the tablets.
Has that not always been there?
No, it's new to everything, isn't it? That you can.
They've always had that at the bottom.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you're right. I don't have an iPhone. I only have the tablet, so you can't expand that one or anything. You can't add more to it.
Oh, let's see. Let's see.
This is curious because
I could when I had a
No.
iPod Touch, but that's because I
okay. Look, I'm
Hacked it.
just. I don't have a phone to test.
It only has 4. It takes 4.
What I'm explaining to you is, Bruce, is now
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
expand it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On
almost-
iPad, you can.
Yes.
One thing cool, though, used
gotta get the 10
to the home screen on iOS on a phone, you couldn't rotate it. Now you can rotate it. Ooh.
Oh yeah, you can rotate the home screen. Yeah, that's
Welcome
true.
to-
That's that.
to
I knew he was
I know
waiting.
you're going to say that.
Welcome to 2010. I think the first Android did that.
But iPad's been doing that since they were released back before 2010. But anyway, let me mention this real quick about Apple Watch, and then we'll get off. We'll try to get off this Apple kick because there's a lot of Apple stuff. I still got more to talk about, but the Apple Watch 3, they have a cellular model. We talked about that 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yes.
But here's the thing they did not tell you is you have to purchase there's a separate charge
Yes,
through
that's
your
correct.
cell phone
Found that out.
provider in order if you go out and purchase one of these Apple Watches, I think most of the carriers in the US are giving you 3 months free. But after that, it's going to cost you $10 a month.
Get you hooked.
Sprint, AT&T, and T-Mobile, Verizon, all plan to charge customers $10 per month to add an LTE Apple Watch to their accounts.
Well, that's what they've done with all the other watches that have.
I think it was less than $10. It wasn't that much.
All the Samsungs and LGs have been $10 for
Well,
years.
Well, I think that's wrong. It uses
Well-
your same phone number. Granted, it's a different radio on their network, but $10 is steep. To
I
pay.
don't think it's wrong. I think
that is
it's
steep.
just business.
I think it's steep. It is network overhead, sure, but is it that much?
It's not that much. 5 maybe. 5 is a little too much, but 5 is a little more palatable than 10. I mean,
I could understand 5.
so here's the thing: this smartphone on Verizon, the line access charge for this line is $20 a month. Not counting my data,
yeah.
just the line access to
So
have
line
this.
access is half.
So it basically my bill would go up by 50%, just in line access charges. Ridiculous. Sorry, I will not buy a cellular Apple Watch.
Well, whenever you get your shoe that you can make calls on, that one will be $5 because they'll half it each time, right?
Maybe. It should be like $3.
No, I mean
Because granted, there is a cost to
there
that
is a
network,
cost
to their
associated.
network. It is a device on their towers. So I mean, it'd be nice if it was free, but I think $10 is way too much.
I wonder if it uses any data.
Well, it's going to be used against your data allotment if you do data stuff through it. But like, I just sorry. That's just it's just like we'll be.
Well, to me,
I'm
that
not doing
Apple
it.
should have if they wanted that to be a selling point, they should have done some pre work to work out some of those deals to say, hey, we really want this to be a selling feature, so cut our customers a break, because you're going to get more customers, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what they did with AT&T whenever they introduced the iPhone. I'm just saying, Apple could have done some.
And here's the thing too with that. I got another. These are all articles. We'll put these in show notes. But the Apple Watch Series 3 LTE model, it will not work with prepaid wireless plans. You have to have a postpaid plan.
Do what?
Well, that
now?
makes
Say that
sense.
again.
Prepaid wireless plans. You can
It's
get
not going to work with prepaid wireless.
What's not?
the Apple
The
Watch
Apple Watch
3.
3.
The
The cellular side. That makes sense to me.
You can't put one on a prepaid plan. If your line, if you have a prepaid line for your smartphone, your iPhone, you cannot put the Apple Watch 3 on it.
What's your thinking behind that? Why that makes sense?
Because you can't.
What does it matter? As long as you're paying
correct
for
me
it.
if I'm wrong. Don't they rely on the chip? You can remove a lot. A lot of those plans are based on there's connect. I know everything's connected with the chip that you put. I get that, but it seems like.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I could be off base there, but I'm
Microsoft's
thinking that it's
attacking
got
us.
something to
your
do with.
computer's ready restarting. It's not in use.
I think it's.
Let's hope it don't restart. So, go ahead.
No. I'm fine. I think it's a financial reason. I don't mean a financial reason to the company. I mean that they're not going to allow it because it's another device, and you're already on a plan that is sort of a prepaid deal where it's almost budgeting.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, but here let me put it this way. That's what we know now.
Yeah.
I think that will probably happen eventually. I think that they'll allow it. I don't know. I admit I don't know the whole details of why not right now, but
That's what I was asking.
Usually
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Historically, the
my
prepaid
guess.
was those that didn't want either they didn't want for credit reasons they couldn't get one on a contract, which that's kind of not really a term anymore because really you get no contract postpaid, but you pay for it in advance.
Sure.
But usually it costs more. But if you I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. It still had a prepaid phone. But
Maybe
I guess
just
you
like
still,
their anonymity.
You can still buy minutes, I think, for
Burner
these
phone.
phones. And like, if you don't use it a whole lot, it's maybe cheaper to just do a prepaid plan versus having a monthly bill. I mean, I don't know, but anyway.
Well, what would be your theory if you had one, Bruce?
I don't have one. That's
Okay.
why I was asking.
I agree with Bruce.
I'm guessing.
I haven't thought of. Well, you said it made sense. So I was wondering.
Well, it does
why.
make it. It kind of makes sense. That I think it has to do with a financial thing. That's not their.
Yeah.
That's not their model. Their model is a device. You pay for this device.
But prepaid,
Prepaid.
Well, prepaid, you're buying a device. Postpaid, you're either paying for it with a device payment or
but
something else.
Prepaid, I can bring my own device.
Yeah, but it's one device. You're not like you prepay per device.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you could purchase,
But it's not
a
like
prepaid
paying
for
a bill. I pay a bill every month for 4 devices.
Sure, but I'm saying if you could prepay for the watch,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
as a separate device.
I agree.
That would make.
You know what?
sense.
Never mind. I don't have a reason. I have no idea.
Maybe
I was
doesn't make
totally
sense.
wrong. I just made it up. I have no idea.
Like
Look,
always.
we'll burn the place down and have no more show. Y'all have a good day. It's great to talk to you. Good night.
Don't go anywhere. There's more in the queue lined up just for you.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website.
Welcome back to the Hey Techies Show. This is your adorable hostess, Michael Bruce and the Guru.
Hostesses
With the mostesses.
The best hostesses of tech.
Wasn't that they're saying? Hostess, that's the stuff.
Hostess, that's the stuff. I guess it is. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Bruce, I understand that you had something to do. You were looking up something to do with the FCC was doing something that.
I didn't read the article.
Oh my goodness!
No, and it was it was the DOJ.
It was the DOJ, and they're doing what?
Seeking info on 6,000 people who liked an anti-Trump Facebook page, and I've been seeing this headlines
goodness.
for weeks.
I think that's
Surely they got something better to do.
You are fake news.
that's fake news.
I'm curious to know.
It's been
if
going
it
on
really
for
is
weeks.
Fake news.
Well, I wouldn't.
That come from CNN.
I wouldn't put it past them, ordering them to do that. I wouldn't put it past Obama.
I hear what you're saying.
The most transparent presidency.
Well, anyway. Well,
Totally.
Speaking of that,
That is fake news.
speaking
You are
of that,
fake news.
we did find out while we were gone
Yeah.
that Trump did. There was a wiretap done. They did finally find out that really happened. That it was not. It was not made up.
Yeah.
There was a real wiretap that really did happen
Yeah.
on Manafort. And do you know this, Bruce? Do you know? I don't care what level of what would you call it? A politician or politically led person you are.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all of that. The FBI picked the lock to his house with a search warrant while him and his family were there. Didn't even knock on the door to go in. Picked the lock and went in while they were there in the bed and woke them up.
They were just practicing.
Look,
Excuse me, we're trying to. So we
I
can
don't
do
care
this.
who that, you know.
Y'all just ignore us.
No.
Look, this was a really expensive log. I don't get to test this out much. Like, I just want to see how good my skills are.
I just got this toolkit this week. They said I could use it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't want
what's
to
that
wake you.
crazy
Didn't want to.
stuff?
I didn't want you to be scared.
Yeah.
Real quiet. Hey, excuse me.
Sure. We're coming in. We need all your documents. We thought we'd pick the lock to do it.
Of course, if
We didn't want to wake you up.
Of course, if they would have just waited until now, they could have sent him one of the new.
Oh.
Yeah, one of the new Amazon Echo Spots.
No,
and
that's
said,
true. And they
here's
might
a-
get-
here's a new alarm clock.
You might could have just gotten it all through that, right?
Yeah.
So Amazon comes out with a slew of stuff this
Yes.
week. And I got to tell you, I sort of perused it.
I'm underwhelmed.
Yeah, I just didn't. I just don't get some of it. Now the Fire TV, I kind of understand.
Oh yeah. That's
That's
$70.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look because you get 4K.
Yes.
Now some people are going to say, but and two, you get Amazon, so you got to consider that you're going to have a good movie selection if you do that. Of course, apps will be on there as well, right? I mean, it has you can get Netflix on there, right? I don't have a Fire TV, but I think there's a Netflix app, is there not?
Oh yeah. I mean, you can put all the apps on.
Right.
On it.
I admit I don't have one, but then I don't have an Apple TV.
But I'll say this. I've got Chromecast. I've
Yes.
got Fire Sticks, and I have Roku's.
Okay.
I have pretty much all Roku lately.
Yeah, you've told us that before, that you just like the Roku.
Yeah,
app. but they've had a long time to perfect their product. I mean,
They
they've been
have.
doing it a while,
That
and you
they
would
have.
expect them to be superior in
Yeah.
some ways.
And there may be a more superior product because like today I used my Chromecast, and I was like, I haven't really opened my home app in a long time. Let's see how this has changed. And I mean, it's basically instead of it being on the TV, it's on my phone. And I don't know. I would rather I don't need another device.
That's my problem. I guess my problem is if you looked at these devices, look at it individually or a whole, could you say I can't do this and I need this to do that?
I would like the ability. I know with some of the older Rokus you could cast to them.
Yeah.
And there are sometimes that I like, man, I wish I could just cast this.
that.
That's why I've kept my Chromecast.
Yeah. But now some of the TVs are allowing you to cast your device.
Oh yeah, I've got TVs that have that built in.
But you don't like the built-in
I
apps
don't.
and stuff. Smart.
Do not.
He anti-smart.
And they're on their own network.
Oh, good grief!
Just saying.
You're just saying.
Just saying.
But so, was there anything that stood out to you that you?
Oh,
would
I
say-
mean, it all stood out. I think so. The Echo Spot. Let's talk about that.
yeah.
I did not watch any of the
On me either.
Okay.
I'm just going on what I've
all
seen and
the,
read.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the articles that headlines
Right.
and stuff that I've seen have kind of introduced it as an alarm clock that you can do video calling and stuff like that on.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't like it because it has a camera on it. That there's no like physical shutter. There's a button you can press on the top.
Yes.
That mutes,
yes.
mutes the mic and shuts off the video camera.
But it's more software based, right? Would it,
I
would that be
I'm sure it hits a switch on
switch
the board,
on the board, yeah.
that can probably be overridden. I mean, kind of like your
Sure.
kind of like your headphone mic jack. On
The
your
NSA
computers.
already has a trick to do it.
They
I'm
do,
sure.
I'm sure. So it is a very clever way for them to get a camera in your room.
You remember Woot, right? I mean, but I'm talking about the old Woot, Woot.com, where they had one thing. They sold one thing every day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they still do this, by the way. They have analytics, but you just reminded me of something, and it says first Wooter. So it tells the first person to Woot. These devices, if we could look at the first buyer, it was NSA, FBI, CIA. They bought them first to test them out. Anyway. But yeah, so the dot is interesting.
Spot.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Dadgum, so many.
They have the Echo Show. You and I were talking about that.
Yeah, but I just don't get what you can't do.
I totally understand that. I totally
You
understand.
can Skype if you had a tablet. You
Yeah.
could Skype
Oh,
off
yeah.
your tablet and talk to somebody
and
else.
you can
And
pull
you
up
can-
anything.
You can bring up anything. I don't know why you would need that.
So, but this is what I'm getting to.
Okay,
so they
yeah.
have of course, they've come out with a new Echo. It looks smaller. It's got a different design, and then they have the Echo Plus, which looks like the older Echo, except now it's kind of the center for your
right.
smart home.
Right.
And I think that's where they're trying to create this whole ecosystem.
Sure.
And I'm sure eventually they'll add cameras and stuff like that. Or, they have all these things that work with Alexa.
Right.
Or that it'll interface with. So you could, if you had some smart cameras, you can say, whatever. If you're looking at the Echo Show, show me the whatever.
Yeah. I can
camera.
see that.
So that's a quick thing instead of having to pull out your phone, open
I
up
agree.
an app,
Yeah.
select that camera. You can just say, "Hey, show me this."
I see that.
It is definitely.
If you're deving into the whole ecosystem,
Yes.
some of it probably
Yeah.
makes a little more sense
Yep.
than it's a standalone item. Maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. It's
And
as
that's
a
what
standalone item. Some of this does not make sense.
Right, but they're probably shooting for that. The whole
Exactly.
ecosystem,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, since the cameras I use aren't into this whole
Right.
thing,
That's another issue.
I mean, unless Ubiquiti came out with an app that Alexa could then interface with.
Well, I heard the show, and I don't know if this has been rectified, but apparently, as of this morning, YouTube had cut off the app for the show because they were saying it actually they were breaking some kind of a rule that YouTube had. I don't know whether it was maybe the ads weren't showing up. I couldn't find any definitive answer for that.
They were just saying not.
They were
not
breaking
approved
their
devices.
licenses agreement or something.
Which we'll talk about that when we talk about my watch, about this whole, because that kind of goes into Amazon's got their own marketplace for apps, and even though it's Android based, so we'll talk about that. And
no Kindle update.
Yeah, no Kindle.
A lot
update.
of people complaining about that.
I would really
Kindle's still pretty big.
I would like a Kindle. I
Yeah,
just haven't. I can't pay that much yet when I could just computer. I can read on my computer. So
yeah, that's true. Most people that still have eyes can do that. Yes.
well, I mean,
Well, I'm just saying.
whatever.
So, by the way, Guru is very quiet.
He is very quiet. He's over there playing with his new phone.
He's bored to death about this Amazon talk.
Yeah. I'm just I don't know. I mean, they got some new products. I don't know if I'll buy any of them. Put it that way.
I'm not a fan of their products.
Why not?
Well, because
They're just poorly made, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't like them.
My Echoes have been great.
I don't want no Echo listed everything I say in my house. Sorry.
Well, neither do I, but somebody has to.
And my
delve into it, right?
Amazon gift card won't get any of that purchased on it.
But you did tell a great story about your daughter.
What? I need to tell you about my
You
yes.
I'll tell you later.
you're going to get to tell everything you want to tell. We always
Yeah.
I guess
Earlier when we were talking about this, because one of the things I want to talk about real quick, the Echo Dot.
yeah, the Echo Dot.
I have it. I have my Echoes and my Echo Dots set to do whole home audio.
Okay.
And one of them I have connected to via Bluetooth the Bose speaker. But whenever you play whole home audio, it disconnects from. It can't do Bluetooth. I guess because it uses Bluetooth to sync everything.
Oh, okay. So you lose a Bluetooth.
Yeah,
speaker.
you lose it, and I was just like, "Well, what's the point of that?" So, but it's funny because my wife won an Echo Dot, and I was like, "We're gonna put it in my daughter's room. We're gonna use it as an alarm clock. You know, she's getting to that age where like it's time to do this." So I set it for 6:15 every morning, and normally I'm not home to hear it, but I got to hear it this morning.
Yeah,
and I hear Alexa. Stop! And it was kind of like the morning is already here. And she gets up and walks into the room, and she's like, "I don't want to get up yet."
Oh, bless her heart.
So after I got her excited, she was excited. To get
that
up
is
and go
so
to school,
funny.
But it was
Alexa,
stop
the pause. Kids. Well, now that we've got about a minute here left, somewhere in the neighborhood, I must say, I wanted to start off the show, but we had a convoluted start. My son turned 17 this week.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Noah is 17, turned 17 Tuesday. And he's a good son. He's doing a very good job in school. I'm very proud of him.
Awesome, Noah.
And he's doing good in band. He has a solo this year that he's playing.
Boys,
Yeah, he
that
does.
boy keeps the roads hot though.
Yeah,
He does.
I missed the live performance of his solo, but I did watch it back on the video, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I hope he listens to the show and is hearing this. It sounded awesome.
Yeah, I hope he listens to the show. You drive way too much. I see you all the time.
He just missed my compliment for him, so he should listen to Techies.
Yeah, I'll let him hear it.
But then since I see him all the time, that should let him know that he needs to watch how he's driving, or I'll let his dad know. You never know who's watching.
That's right.
Yeah, no, he's a good son. He
is a good kid.
Very good
Yes.
kid, and I'm very proud of him. But
You should be. He's a very good kid.
17 years old, and happy birthday, buddy. All right. Well, when we come back, we will have our
dose,
and our Uno is in the books. Hey, Techies Show.
You've listened this long, so stick around for our dose.
Technologic. Technologic.
Use it, break it, fix it, trash it, change it, melt, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, snap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, cut it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it, rip it, drag it, drop it, zip and zip it, lock it, fill it, call it, find it.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show, our
Dose.
and Guru had to run out because he is actually working tech support, not on the radio. So we do it all here on the
Yes,
Hey
we
Techie
do.
Show.
The reason why I was laughing because I had to. I've probably read this review on Amazon for it's a keyboard and it's just the left half, and I've probably read this review, no joke, no less than 24 times, and every time it just cracks me up.
So what is? I guess I've missed this. They have keyboards you can buy the left or the right half.
Yeah, and I guess so you can split it
Split
between
them,
things,
right.
or if
But wouldn't they sell them as a pair? I mean, I don't.
I don't know. No clue.
I have a friend who had to get a new keyboard.
And they're not cheap.
Let me restate that. We have a friend that had to get a new keyboard the other day. Yeah. This individual got really angry about a stats program not working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And this individual slammed his keyboard down and pretty much broke it.
Yeah. And so I always have a spare one.
But that'll make you angry. I can, something that continually not works when you put the right stuff in, or you think it's the right stuff.
There is something satisfying about just
Oh yeah, there is.
killing a keyboard.
Absolutely. Or a mouse.
So since the Guru's
Or
gone,
a printer or a copier.
yeah, take a baseball.
I was
bat
wanting
to
to
it.
take one today, as a matter of fact.
So let's talk about this watch.
Yes. Bruce got a watch.
I got another watch. I had the Moto 360 second gen,
Correct.
and I always got a lot of compliments about that.
yeah,
watch.
it was a good looking watch.
I mean, a lot
Right.
of compliments about that watch. But I had a fairly deep scratch down the center, going diagonally
Right.
across the screen, and I purchased a replacement plan on it, and we've talked about, well, I'm not even going to mention it. So I think it's a very good idea to buy those 4 things like this. So I decided, well, I've had this watch about a year, I guess. Bought a 2-year replacement plan on it. Let me go ahead and do this. Like, this is what I paid for. And I was on the road, so I checked at the Best Buy, because that's where I had purchased the replacement plan
Right.
and everything from. I was like, let me check the local and see if they have any of the Moto 360s there, because I was, we had talked about on the show that they were going to come out with a 3rd generation. They decided not to. They didn't have any in stock, so I was like, I'll just go in the store and see what they have. Did not do any, research before about what watch I was going to get.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just like, let's just go and see. Let's.
That's unusual.
Yes,
for you.
it is very unusual. But I was like, let's just try something new. So I looked around and decided on the Samsung Gear S3 Frontier Edition. So they have a Classic and a Frontier.
Okay.
Frontier is more sporty. Since I do a lot of hiking and stuff, I was like, I don't, I would like more of a sports band.
Okay.
But, you can swap these bands out, and then I can make it look fancier if I need to. But
Yeah.
I like it just the way it is right
Yeah.
now. So I've not had it for quite a week. One of the positive things about it, battery on this thing lasts at least 3 days. It would probably last close to 4 for me, because I think about 76% is what I'm at after one full day. So it would possibly last into 4 days for me. But they advertise 3. Some of the things I miss, and maybe I'm just missing it in a different tense on this watch, is the gestures. I don't know if yours has gestures where you could look at the watch and just flip your wrist.
Yes, that's correct.
Yours has that?
Yes.
So I've not discovered that on this watch yet, because it has this dial, and they expect you to use, use the dial
right.
to
Okay,
move
yeah.
through stuff, or you can swipe.
Yeah, I've never gotten these gestures to work too well. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I've never had.
Mine was okay. About 80% of the time, it worked right. This is definitely more health oriented than my previous one. I
Right.
feel like I got a huge upgrade.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and start. Of course, I paid a little more for this one.
Sure.
So sure, I got an upgrade.
You hope so.
Yeah, you hope so. So it's definitely, if I've not moved and working at a desk job, like it'll constantly say, "Hey, let's get up and move," and I like that. I really like that. Because I am the type of person that if I get focused on something, I will sit there for way too long.
Okay.
And be like, 8 hours have passed. What happened? And unless somebody comes and says, "Hey, you need to get up," so it's nice. It vibrates like twice. It's like knock knock, and I was like, "Oh, what's that? Oh, hey, I need to get up and move." Or hey, get up and stretch. So I think it's great. Some of the other things does sleep tracking, which my previous watch did not do. I have noticed this when I'm at home in a Tempur-Pedic, even with a newborn. I'd say he's still a newborn.
Yes.
My sleep efficiency is better than when I'm in a hotel bed. And I think that's because, man, I swear by Tempur-Pedics.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, and I'm talking about significantly better.
So do you sleep with that on?
I do.
Yeah. I can't.
It is a little weird at first.
It just, that would drive me. Well, I shouldn't say that. I guess I could get used to anything if I had to wear something, but then I don't. I mean, my watch doesn't do any of that, so I really
and that was the thing. Like my previous watch did not do these things, so it didn't even cross my mind. Plus, it wouldn't even lasted long enough to do.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, there's some nights that it's not going to get because I'm like, now this is the night I need to charge it. So this is also like a forget your phone watch.
It'll let you know if you.
Well, no. Like I can leave. Like if I wanted to go on a run.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
I can hook Bluetooth headphones to this. I can load music to this.
Cool.
It has GPS built in. You can. I don't know if I bought the version, but they have a version of this. And I don't think. I think I can do it on this one. But this one you can get a SIM card for.
Okay.
And make calls, so you can completely leave your phone behind, which is nice. I haven't done it yet because I haven't had time to load music on there. And anytime I do go running, because usually I run on a treadmill, I have my phone.
Is it load music via hardwired cable?
No, so you just from your phone.
Okay,
you
can through the app maybe.
Yeah, and through the app, and I'm getting to that.
Oh, I'm sorry,
because this is Samsung.
Jumping ahead.
So this is Samsung, and this kind of goes back to whole Amazon's ecosystem. Even though it's Android,
yes,
they have their own stuff.
Okay.
So with Samsung, and this is one thing I don't particularly care for. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I just haven't made up my mind. I'm leaning towards I don't like it for the Samsung apps.
Oh.
So I don't have a Samsung phone. I've never owned a Samsung phone.
Right.
If I did, this would make a little more sense. But just like with my Motorola watch, I had to create a Motorola account, register that, whatever. So it's registered to me. I had to download the Gear app.
Mm-hmm.
I had to download something specifically. It was like the S3 plug-in kind of on top of that app. So it just like, here's the base app, here's more things for just yours, and then download a separate health app. So inside the Gear app, if I wanted more watch faces, it doesn't take me to the Play Store.
Okay.
It takes me to Samsung Store.
Okay, yeah.
And I have to use, like, I can't use Google Play money.
Right.
So I have to pay for, which I would have to pay through Google, but I have Google Play money from Google Rewards.
Right. Is that fake money? Play money?
Yeah, exactly. It's Play money. So it doesn't even matter. But I was like, I don't like this. I do not like this at all. So another thing.
Oh, here we go.
This has Samsung Pay. I'm not. I don't even really use Android Pay anymore. I I don't. There's sometimes I do, but I just don't feel comfortable adding it to another service. Because I before my Android Pay, I had to a what was Google's they had a bank, the Google card. What did I have for so long?
Google card.
No.
Android.
Whatever.
Android Pay.
No, it was the Google Wallet.
Google Wallet.
I had that. My Google Wallet card was
Right.
my default.
Right.
So it was like if I wanted to, I would have to transfer money to it, and then I could spend it. And I liked that. But then they got rid of Google Wallet. So
Yes.
I need, I guess, just get something like that. But I was like, can I not just use Android Pay through this? Which I haven't gone through
Need Bruce Pay.
to do yet. Yeah, Bruce Pay.
Bruce Pay.
So I don't know if I have to do Samsung Pay, and that means that's another thing I'm going to have to download and set up a service for. So I'm not digging that part. Samsung's like, come to
I get it.
our stores.
Mm-hmm.
It's yes, it makes business sense for them to do that, but to me, you're kind of going against the whole point of the Android ecosystem. Is that all of it works across all these devices. You're not locked down to just.
I think Fossil has the same thing, but I care so little about apps on this thing. I mean, I really just use it for the notifications of the time, and it keeps steps, and I like to see that. But
well,
I mean, really,
that's what's
it.
important to me is the notifications and the health stuff, and the time, of course.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't
use the watch for my time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm trying to be funny. I use it for everything else, but it's got a time.
Yeah.
Oh.
yes, it has a time.
I mean, I will say that's one good thing about this watch is that it is one you can just leave your phone behind and go on your run and still be able to do everything you need to do. And if you wanted to add it to your plan, I think it would be $10 a month.
Boo on the cell phone companies.
I'm just saying they've been doing it for years.
Well, they still boo.
Well, when we come back, we will, I guess, discuss cell phone companies again. I mean, shocking that we might do that.
Cell phone companies.
No, yeah, cell phone companies. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
No representation is made that the opinions of hosts here are better than those of the average tech show, but we think so.
Gamecock Outfitters, located on the square at 109 Ladica Street in Jacksonville, provides customers with outdoor apparel and gear. Gamecock Outfitters is able to help you find exactly what you need for every outdoor adventure. Gamecock Outfitters is open Tuesday through Friday from 10 o'clock to 5:30 and Saturday from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. For additional information, contact them at 256-435-2008 or check out their website at GadsdenOutfitters.com.
Welcome back into
The Hey Techie Show.
In stereo.
In stereo.
Oh, good heavens. Oh. Well, we hope you're having a great evening, and you would like to be on with us, 256-782.
5600.
And you can be on the Hey Techie Show. Guru will put you right in since he's back from his technology.
Yeah, I had to make
hell
a
at home.
virtual home house call. DirecTV system failed.
Now,
at the
I
house,
hope
so.
you didn't forget, Guru, but you were wanting to talk about something earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all will let me.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, before you do,
all right. See y'all next week.
No, go ahead, Guru.
Yeah,
Please.
seriously, go
I'm
ahead.
tired of talking.
I need to talk about Nest though. So
Well, you go ahead.
No. Please.
Go ahead.
I'm begging.
Let me see if I can find this article. I closed it out. Hang on. Well, I didn't think I was going to talk about it. I mean, y'all were just like, whatever.
You were out of the room.
You were out of the room.
Tell people you were out.
I was out of the room.
Okay.
I had to step out.
Most of the time when me and Bruce were talking about what we just talked about, you were gone.
When you're the tech person of the family, people call you.
I know
and
that.
I got a text that, hey, call me.
Definitely.
We know
So
that.
when the NPR news started, I stepped out.
Yes,
was on the phone. Then I came back in because I had to. And I
did an awesome
job.
job.
I told the person, I said, "Hang on a second."
But
started the show. Went
we're
back
definitely
out.
here to help you. So 256-782-56.
That's
That's right. If you need
Um,
to reboot your DirecTV box,
Yeah, just unplug
Just-
it.
just-
Did you turn it off and back on?
yeah, Guru can help.
Because that's basically what we did was turn it off and back on again. It started working, and
Hey, ironically, that's what we did here.
So what are we talking about?
I can't find it for the life of me now. I had it pulled up and it's gone.
Well, give me press Control-Shift-T.
Hold a minute, I'm finding it. There, I found it. Okay.
That's an Apple.
I teased this at the
Command-Shift-T. Whatever.
I teased at the beginning of the show. So, and I think we didn't talk about this on the show. This was after iOS 11 came out. So, this is something that iOS and Android has had for years.
Yeah.
Some sort of Apple calls it Control Center. Android calls it something whatever, but where you can slide up from
Yes,
some
I was going to
corner,
ask you about slide
and you
up.
can like turn on airplane mode. You can turn off your Bluetooth.
Oh, yeah.
You can turn off your Wi-Fi. You know, on Apple, it's got that. It's got the the flashlight where I can blind Bruce and things like that. Well, Apple's had this for years, but apparently on iOS 11, the turning on and off the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi has a different effect.
Yes.
It does not turn off those radios. It just disconnects you from Bluetooth or Wi-Fi depending on what you pick.
Yeah.
And this came out on the 21st, which was.
I thought we talked about this on the show.
We didn't.
No, we didn't have a show last week.
We didn't have a show last week.
Yeah, I thought the week before we did.
That wasn't out yet. Now the betas were.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't think this is just recent.
And here's the thing, and 9 to 5 Mac talks about this. Back in July, they reported this from one of the betas of iOS 11. Had this behavior. Instead of disabling the functionality, it was merely disconnecting from the currently connected devices and cancels the auto join feature. So it won't if you turn Wi-Fi off to the control center, it won't connect to Wi-Fi. But it's not turning off the Wi-Fi radio.
I understood, though, correct me if I'm wrong, Guru, I understood that what they were really thinking is that if you wanted to do what you're referring to turn it off, you put it on airplane mode. And
yes.
that physically turns everything off.
And that's what is talked about in this article, too. Some security researchers, they're agreeing that Apple's approach is counterintuitive for users, to understand what's happening. This is a quote from a security researcher. It is stupid.
Well, I don't know about that.
It is not clear to the user. And that's my thing. And here's the thing. In my day job, when I write software, I'm always thinking about the end user experience. And when they do something, will it give the desired result? And, I mean, it does turn off the Wi-Fi, but it really don't turn it off.
It just detaches.
Yeah, it disconnects. And
it just disconnects.
It won't connect you to Wi-Fi.
Right. Or Bluetooth. But the radio is still on.
So in iOS 11 or later, when you toggle Wi-Fi Bluetooth, let's see, it'll immediately disconnect Wi-Fi Bluetooth. But both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth will continue to be available, so you can use these important features: AirDrop,
that's
AirPlay,
correct.
Apple Pencil, Apple Watch, continuity features like handoff and instant hotspot location services.
Yeah,
and of course it says you can go to the settings and actually physically turn them off. So like you can go to Wi-Fi and say off in settings, it will cut it off. Or like you said before, airplane mode. And airplane mode is going to kill it.
Right.
So there's another oddity it's saying in this article. Even if you switch it off in settings, Apple switches both radio systems back on at 5 a.m.
At 5 a.m. in case you forgot, that your watch will connect.
This is likely because people forget they've switched it off and then can't understand why the device won't connect.
No, that's interesting.
Our users are dumb. They don't know what they want.
Hey, I resent that. Maybe it's just how I represent that. But I think here's the thing. This stuff, if they can hard code at 5 a.m., turn it on, give you a setting Do I want it to auto turn that stuff on? Yes or no? And if so, what time do I want it to come on?
Yeah, that's true.
That is easily configurable. Easily configurable.
Agree.
So I don't agree with Apple at all on this at all. Like, I can see their point about, well, you turn off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Well, Apple Pencil will still work and this other thing will still work. I can kind of sort of get where they're coming from there. I don't agree, but I can kind of see their approach. But again, give the user a choice. In Control Center, if I turn off the Wi-Fi in Control Center, if I want to kill the radio, I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Make it user configurable. Your default value can be, we're just going to disconnect you from Wi-Fi.
Right.
That can be the default behavior, as long as you don't change it with an update. But that's a Microsoft thing. Apple would never do that. But that's just my big gripe there. And I will say this: the one bug I've seen with iOS 11, and I haven't put the dot release on yet, so I can't tell you if it fixes it. But sometimes there's been times like I was trying to join a VPN and it wouldn't work through Wi-Fi. I have to go to LTE to join the VPN. So I just go up there. I just disconnect from Wi-Fi real quick, through the Control Center, just to get off the Wi-Fi real quick. I would do that, join the VPN or do what I was doing, and I'd go back to Wi-Fi. It wouldn't reconnect to Wi-Fi. I had to go physically into settings, turn Wi-Fi physically off and back on to get it to reconnect.
I've seen that problem before.
So there is a little defect in their little turning on and off from the Control Center. It's not working quite right. So if they haven't fixed it in the dot one release, it'll be fixed in a future one.
Bruce, what was your Nest issue? What's your problem?
So Nest has come out with.
I'm calling all that Control Center Gate, by the way, because if you go to the show,
Control Center Gate.
Yeah, you go to the show notes. It's iOS 11 Control Center Gate. All one word.
We had beginning of the show gate today.
Yeah.
This has been the failure of technology gate.
There you go. Failure of technology gate day.
We got just call
show
it
title.
Well, that's kind of wordy. Technology gate.
Technology gate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, if technology's been failing all over the place today, I'll just be glad when this day is over because I don't want this.
The Hey Techie show's got.
I don't want a repeat of this tomorrow. All this stuff failing.
Okay, Bruce, go ahead, because I want to get to rumors.
Yeah. So as quick as I can, Nest came out with some new products. They came out with the Nest Thermostat E.
Yeah.
So it's a cheaper model than the Nest Thermostat.
Right.
Essentially does everything. Is not as sexy looking, but it's still, it's still a good thermostat. Came out with some new cameras. They have an outdoor camera now, which I think is way overpriced.
How much is it?
It's like $350.
What?
Yeah.
I can get 3 Blink cameras
Yes.
for that.
Yeah, I agree.
I like my
think
Blink
it's
cameras?
$350. That is a
He
thing.
thinks. He thinks.
So it's a Nest.
Yeah, the Nest Cam IQ Outdoor.
Let me ask you a question right here.
Maybe that's the one I was looking at was the IQ Outdoor.
Interject something. Does it arrest the person for you?
I know,
at
right?
For that much, it better.
So they came out with a doorbell, which they're they're way late in the game.
Yeah,
on
because
that.
Ring is really one.
Yeah,
He's
Ring,
really
and
done
there's
well
one,
with that.
one other one.
Yeah, there is.
It's $199 for one.
Okay.
Still
$348 for 2, but still I can get 3 for the price of that.
Yeah,
and Blinks.
that was my thing.
still pricey.
Yeah, very pricey. And then they came out with an alarm system.
Okay.
They have to be powered some way too.
Yeah.
My Blink ones, you just put a battery in it. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. So
Did I tell you like Blink cameras?
You mentioned it.
So let's
Not a
talk,
sponsor of the show.
Let's talk about
I
their
wished.
alarm system.
Okay.
It has a, I guess, kind of Echo Dot looking
A base.
You can let me talk about some of the nice things
Okay.
before I build this crap sandwich. Let's start.
Here
Let's
we go.
start with the good. Put the
Okay.
bad in the middle. Put the good back on top. So the good things, it has a no rush alarm, so you can kind of just set it, and then
Yeah.
once you leave, it's set instead of it counting down. You got to hurry and get out the door. It will also remind you, based on your phone location with the app, hey, you've left home. Like,
Right.
did you want to arm it? Yes. And you can set it on a schedule. Some of these things are already done. So let's talk about the things that I think are horrible. The first thing is the Nest tag. So instead of having to put in a code to unlock it, you can just carry around a tag like on your keychain.
Okay.
And just, boop, I'm checking in and out.
Yes.
I'm checking in and
Okay.
out here. So you give it to your kids like, hey, check out whenever you leave the house. Check back in when you come back.
Just like the Disney World band.
Shh. Yes, sure. So, intruder waits for you outside your home.
I
forces you
mentioned
in.
this to my
Disarm.
wife the
Yeah.
other day.
Like you can't put in. Hopefully they.
So
have,
you can't put in a code.
you can put in a code, but the thing is, if they.
But once you do that, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Once you get
well, that's what I'm saying. Most of these have built-in silent alarms. I'm sure this does too. But if they can just,
I get it.
Get you or get your.
I get it.
They're in. Yeah. So I think the Nest Tag was a good concept, but not for what the system's for.
I could be okay with the Nest Tag if it had a panic ability on the tag. For instance, what I have, and I'm not going to give that out. My wife has a thing like a fob that she has with her, but there's a panic button on there. So if somebody was trying to do that, you could press the panic button, and
it does not say. Well, I'm assuming there's not one.
Well, I know. I don't know either. I didn't.
So
even see
the sensors, they sense motion and they sense open and close, and they're basically just a magnet and then the actual sensor part that you would put on doors and windows.
Right. That's
again, same thing with the little fob or whatever. A good idea. They have a quiet open, so if you just need to let the dog out, you can press the button. Just disable just that one, so you can open the door. And come. So that's not a bad idea, except for it doesn't have a glass break sensor on it, so I can just.
All
right, we're disabled. Now we're in. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So very easily to circumvent this system. But I guess some of the good thing about this is you get an alert. If you have the cameras and stuff, you can verify, and then you can say yes, call the police. Or I'm sure if you don't verify within so much, it just, well, at this point, they're going to have 24/7 professional monitoring available. Again, this kind of goes with the insurance. Originally I think it was the Nexus 6P when it came out. It's like, notify me when it's available. Right. They said it was only going to be like $5 a month, and then it ended up being just like everybody else. Right. It was $10 a month, and you had to pay, $100 and whatever bucks for your phone. So I'm sure it's going to be the same way. And it's not cheap. Like the setup kit, which it's only available for pre-order now, I think it was like $550.
Okay.
And it doesn't come with a whole lot.
Wow. So is it cellular based or is it Wi-Fi based? Do you know that?
So yes, on both.
Okay.
It has cell backup.
Okay. Just curious.
Has a 12-hour battery backup on the base itself.
Okay.
I'm sure that all the other ones have the 2-year batteries or whatever.
Gotcha.
So for $500, the starter pack comes with one of the Nest Guards, that's your base station, 2 of the Nest Detects, that's your door sensors, and 2 Nest Tags.
Wow.
That's $500.
Oof.
Yes.
Man.
Very expensive.
And that base station must be pretty expensive as far as building. I mean, that sounds like
that's the majority of the cost, right?
It's got to be because
I'll
those
tell you, the
door
sensors
sensors can't
sensors
be.
itself. Well, so the Nest Detects they're selling for $60 a piece. So 2 of those, that's $120.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I get
then the tags are $25 a piece, so there's $50.
Yeah.
So we're at $170. The rest of it's all just for that base station.
So you have to pay for service on top of that too
when it becomes available for 24/7. It's not available yet.
So you buy the hardware and it's just basically a local alarm.
Yeah.
For now.
It would say, "Hey, you've been broken into. You can call the police and do it yourself."
But why would you release?
It's like the.
I don't understand.
It's like that those commercials on TV where the guard in the bank, he's just a monitor.
Yeah, right.
Robbery monitor.
But I wonder.
Somebody holds him up like.
Of course, I don't have a lot of.
You're being broken into.
I wonder though if some.
It's like, and here's let me stop you just for a quick second.
Sure.
The thing is, like, if you try to get this to lower your homeowner's insurance by having a protective
this
device,
wouldn't work.
Yeah, because it has to be monitored.
It does have to be.
Yeah.
No, that's a good injection. I agree with you.
So yeah, it's not going to help you until there's monitoring. You pay for monitoring.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would say if you're going to do this, you would be better off going with God, what is the name of that?
Simply Safe.
Simply Safe.
That's what. Yeah, that's a good product.
And I would say for this cost at $500, Vivint would be cheaper.
Yeah, Vivint. The last time I looked into them,
they'll come in and put so much in your home
yeah,
for free.
Yeah, they'll put so much hardware in your home, and you just pay a monthly service. So there's no upfront cost.
Yeah.
I think somebody in my family, they don't live there anymore.
They have
but
points. They have a point system.
Yeah, but
Based
one of my family
on
members
the
used to
points.
live in a house. He doesn't live in that house anymore,
Yeah.
but
Got it.
the house, they put a Vivint system in.
Yeah.
It's a really cool system. I was impressed with
Yeah.
it.
But
But all
All this stuff is
we keep interrupting Michael. Sorry.
all this stuff is just like a door lock. Or a door. It's there to keep honest people honest.
right,
Yeah.
Because you can circumvent all this. Since it's wireless, you can circumvent all of it.
sure,
Even if it's wired, you could circumvent it.
absolutely.
So what
Of
were you
course.
going to say?
Well, I don't know actually. Now that I think about it, I think you might have saved me already twice.
Michael is speechless.
Yeah, apparently.
So that's
No, I was going to say earlier that it almost makes you think that a marketing person came up with this idea.
pretty much.
Oh, they did. Most definitely.
Oh, this is really cool. And shape it like this, and it has all this. People are going to look. What about the back end? It's okay. We'll do that later.
Yeah.
That's not
Listen,
important.
People love frills. They love the
No,
outer.
I mean I can understand if you're not going to pay for 24/7 monitoring because you're
Yeah.
fine. Like I got an alert, I can check it myself. I don't need to pay for that.
I would think that is true, except for one problem. If you're going to do this yourself, you need cameras.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You need cameras anyway, but my point is that is physical proof. An alarm going off, that could be any. I mean, that could
Could
be
be.
a malfunction.
Yeah,
that could be
absolutely.
anything.
My dog barked
can't-
the other
you
day, and
can't see.
it caused the black
Right, I mean,
glass
it could-
brake sensor to go off.
Well, see, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But because he was in his crate, I got an alert from
and that's good.
the system I use. I'm not going to reveal who
Right,
it is,
right.
but it's one that I pay for 24/7 monitoring.
right.
I still got an alert on my phone saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
in this room, this sensor
Yes.
went off. Do you suspect this is a false alarm?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, that definitely is," because I know what that was. But I was also able to log into my cameras and verify.
Right. See, that's my point. I mean, I think you're going to have to, if you're going to monitor it yourself, which I don't, I think that the technology is there now to
Yeah.
probably do that. You better live close, maybe, because the
Yeah.
response time is going to be tough. But you could have proof if you have visible proof, or like you said, like we talked about the Ring,
Yeah.
one where you could talk back to the person,
Yep.
or the one that's the. I guess they have a spotlight too that you could.
They
talk.
do have a spotlight with a camera on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
But I will say their doorbell, Nest doorbell, one thing that's really neat about it is that it can detect when somebody comes up and doesn't press the doorbell or doesn't, I guess, knock on the door.
Right.
It's like,
oh yeah, that is a
hey,
good point.
they're just over here snooping. Like,
Yeah.
here's an alert.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
So
yeah.
there are some, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So well, rumors.
Oh.
We need to cover some, and I've got one of my own.
Which I'm kind of curious. I would like to talk to somebody that is in the burgling business to find out. I mean, does this stuff really deter them, or do they just say,
Well,
"All right, I'm gonna"?
Wait a minute. You want to seek out someone that admits they're in the burglary
Sure,
business?
they can be anonymous.
Man, I want to arrest them. I don't want to talk to them.
Well,
Don't even get me started.
Well, I just want to know, right?
After they're in jail, then
I didn't see the doorbell.
yeah. Okay.
Well, what you got for us from Apple this week? Figured they're all rumored out.
You don't want to go first, Michael?
Yes, I do.
Well, please.
Because I think I had this. I got this. It's so good. I had it pulled up twice.
Oh, it's that good.
Yes. By the way, Bruce, there have been a lot of leaks about the new Pixel 2 and Pixel 2
Oh,
XL
man.
features, and some of the most interesting features of old Brucey boy is
Exactly what I want.
front-facing cameras. Duo.
No, not that one.
Not
Not what I want. You know what I want. We were talking about it earlier.
no audio jack.
No, the speakers.
That's what I said. What did I say?
You said dual. You said cameras.
Oh, I meant speakers. I'm sorry. I'm losing. We were just talking about We were just talking about cameras and dual-facing speakers. Yes, front-facing dual-facing, yes. Front-facing dual speakers, Bruce. Stereo.
That's why I've
There
not
is
been
a-
looking at these.
but also-
but we don't know if that's on the big phone.
It says XL has stereo speakers on the front.
Oh, it does say that?
Yes. Hold on. Guru's bored already.
No, I'm getting ready for mine. So
Let's see.
do I need to like vamp or something? over
Pixel 2. No. I don't see that, Bruce. It doesn't say. Oh my goodness. Now wait a minute. I have not dealt. There are saying this. This is rumored. I'm guessing. All the way they'll have always on displays. It says here, Bruce, the Pixel 2 will have squeezable frame, like the HTC U11. What's the point of that? I guess there's some action. See, I haven't dealt with anything like this. Squeezable frame?
here? You're not squeezing it right.
Apparently so. You're not squeezing it right.
You know, it doesn't work. That'd be.
But to me, the big thing is, if it's true, gone is the traditional 3.5 millimeter audio jack on this model as well.
Yeah.
Supposedly. So there'll be no. I don't know how. I don't know if they're going to do something like USB-C.
Oh yeah,
to
they'll
audio.
have USBs. Somebody will have that for sure. I don't think it's a good idea though.
Yeah.
The only thing, I don't know.
We shall see. We shall
We
keep
shall
a
see.
keep a sharp eye on this. But anyway, but this was from BGR.com.
BGR.
Apple set the standard on that.
They did.
So
And they did.
It's going to be going away.
Yeah, apparently so.
You can basically call it gone.
It's gonna be like the if you don't want all the bells and whistles, you got to get a flip phone. There's gonna be this one phone.
Yeah.
If you want audio jack, we've got the audio jack. You can't do anything else.
Well,
Yeah. and I will add to this that I thought I'd miss the audio.
Oh,
jack
I was
more than
wondering if this was he was gonna.
and I've not yet, but the iPhone comes with an adapter.
Yes, it does.
But here's the thing: it comes with one little adapter. The earpods that come with it, the earbuds that come with it, are Lightning connector digital.
Yeah.
But I don't like those because they don't fit in my ear correctly. They're just not comfortable for
Sure.
me. So I use my own earphones, traditional analog.
Yeah.
So I had to plug the little adapter in that came with it. But the problem is, it's an adapter, and like I don't want to. I'm afraid I want to. I keep it with my headphones.
Yeah.
Like I'd put. Before I had this phone, I had my iPhone 6 in a LifeProof case.
Yeah.
I had several of those. If anybody's
Yes.
owned the LifeProof case, it's waterproof.
Yeah.
And the audio connector, it had a special adapter that screwed in that had like a O-ring seal to keep it waterproof. And you
Right.
had that on there. So and you can't use traditional headphones
with that on
without
there,
that.
right.
You have to have that. So I had several of those. I kept one with these earphones I've got on right now. I kept one with my earbuds I keep, when I go to work out, and one at the house. And now I'm about to buy several of these adapters. That's it's just kind of annoying to me because that's like $10 per adapter.
Ching, ching.
But I am
what Apple wanted.
I am going to get an aftermarket one. I'm going to get an aftermarket one that allows you to charge your phone and use your headphone at the same time, because there could be a situation where you want to watch a movie or
Absolutely. While you're on the plane.
otherwise you go, I'm on the plane, you won't be able to keep it charged. So anyway, so is it my turn?
Absolutely.
I already took over. And this is not really rumor, but I just wanted to say this to get y'all's opinion. Y'all's, that's not really the best way.
Yes,
proper
go
English.
ahead.
You alls. So there's a article from Mac Rumors from Monday. Talking about they're talking about the demand from the iPhone 10. They're saying that according to some analysts, that Apple's high-end flagship phone iPhone 10 that's going on pre-orders in October with a November release is very likely to cannibalize iPhone 8 pre-orders. So, I mean, and it says here that the iPhone pre-orders traditionally sell out in September due to high demand, but this year, some people might be holding out, not getting an 8 to get the 10. And I'm sorry, I'm not buying a $1,000 phone. I just bought one, but I wasn't going to. No. But I did just go and look, and some of the iPhone 8s that are currently they're 3 to 5 business days shipped. So there's a few days lag.
Yeah.
So you can't get them like ships today or ships tomorrow. So there is a little lag in the supply chain, I guess you
I
call
wonder
it.
if they're following Nintendo's model on that.
What, deliberately like
Yeah.
holding back inventory?
Yeah.
You don't know. I know I spoke to a friend at the football game Friday. That was the day that Apple started shipping pre-orders, and that's the first day you could go buy it in the store.
Yeah.
And I pre-ordered mine, so it came Friday last week. So I had mine at the football game, so we were talking about it, and him and his wife they were both due for new phones. They were going to get new phones, and they're ready to get iPhone 8s or 8 Plus or whatever. That's what they decided they were going to get. They get to the local telephone store. They got a total of 5 on release day. Total of 5, and they were gone in like 15 minutes. And of course, they weren't there when the store opened.
Yeah.
They had to go to work. So it was the afternoon. They're like, it was out of luck.
Well, I was going to say the headlines that I had seen that the lines to get them were underwhelming compared to years past.
Yeah, but most people are buying them online. I saw that, and I thought that was
that was my thing. I was like,
I
for
think
people
that's a
not
terrible-
Yeah,
online.
the 10 years ago iPhone lines that wrapped around blocks. I mean, you couldn't pre-order them. You couldn't order them online and get them that same day.
Yeah.
You had to go stand in line. But I was at first like, oh, they're not going to sell many of those iPhone 10s, but I think people are going to go crazy over them. I mean,
there's enough crazy people to go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I mean, 1,000. It starts at $1,000.
There's people
starts at
Oh, yeah, man.
$1,000 for a phone. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, basically $500 a year, right?
yeah, that's right.
Still a lot of money.
Well, when we come back, we will finish up on whatever else we didn't discuss, and another little segment we like to talk about this week in tech history. Hey, Techie Show.
Not gonna get it.
Be right back. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. It's Michael, Bruce, and the Guru, and unfortunately, along with technical difficulties, I had no idea we don't have This Week in Tech History, so Bruce will just guess.
We'll have a next week.
Yeah, next week in Tech History. Bruce is just going to come up and just guess. Bruce, if you had to just guess this day in any time frame, what happened? Tech history, today's date, any time frame.
Apple did something.
Apple did something. There we go.
That's usually what I think.
Apple did something.
That's usually what I think is Guru's like, what Apple thing?
There we go. He got it right.
Or what airplane thing does he have? It's so hard sometimes. You never know what angle he's coming from.
Yeah, he does a great job. But at any rate, was there any more rumors, Guru?
No, that's the only one I had.
That's the only one really you had.
I do have one thing I want to. I shared this with you earlier today.
Absolutely.
We have another security breach.
Yes, Sonic.
Yes, Sonic.
Oh yeah, we talked about the beginning of the show. Never brought it back up.
I mean Sonic, the fast food driving.
Not the Hedgehog.
No, not Sonic the Hedgehog. And I just went to Sonic the other week, but apparently hackers.
Yeah, so did I.
Hackers have made off with millions of credit card and debit card accounts used at Sonic driving locations, according to the security blog. This is a article from USA Today. In a post on Tuesday, Krebs on Security said Sonic Drive-In, a fast food chain with 3,600 restaurants in 45 states, has acknowledged a breach affecting an unknown number of Sonic cash registers known today as point-of-sale terminals.
Can I say I did not realize they had that many stores?
I didn't either.
Over that many states.
It's a bunch.
45 states. And they're very popular here where we're based in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I thought it was just kind of like a south.
Yeah, apparently
Southern
not.
thing.
Apparently not. So about 5 million credit card numbers were recently put up for sale on a shadowy underground online network, Krebs wrote. The cards have recently been used at Sonic locations. So they found I guess they kind of worked it back to Sonic. Unknown at this point is whether the breach affected only a small portion of Sonic drive-in sites or the entire chain. The company's credit card processor informed Sonic last week of, quote, unusual activity regarding credit cards used at Sonic, end quote. This is a quote from the actual company. We are working to understand the nature and scope of this issue, as we know how important it is to our guests. We immediately engaged third-party forensic experts and law enforcement when we heard from our processor. Blah 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 blah. And it goes on to there. But here's my thing.
And this is a very good point.
You know, I've got my opinion, and I'm very opinionated. So I think the company, I guess, I know in this area they've been upgrading. And if you've never been to a Sonic, somebody that lives maybe like Micah.
Most people have never been into a Sonic.
No, but been to their location. Like I'm just thinking maybe up in Maine where Micah is, they don't have Sonics. What is this? Just like the old traditional drive-in where you pull in and then you got the speaker and you order and then somebody brings it out to you. You know,
sometimes on skates.
Yeah, sometimes on skates. I haven't seen that lately, but
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, well, they've been upgrading their equipment at where you pull your car up to order. It used to be like just a speaker and just the menu, like a piece of plastic with lit behind it. Then they added, many years ago, card swipe, where after you place your order, you push the button, tell the lady or person, man, on the other side what you wanted. It show your total, you swipe your card. All great and wonderful. They've upgraded. Now they've got like the menu with a big touch screen that you can do stuff on, but it also show your order as you're ordering it. They'll put it in the system.
Yeah.
But it also has the credit card, where you can still pay at the things. You don't have to worry about having to give them a card, they come back and pay with cash, all good stuff. But here's my observation with that whole credit card reader on this new equipment, brand new equipment. I mean, like I went there a couple weeks ago. Oh, they got new equipment. That's neat. But these new credit card readers are still the old school mag stripe kind, and not the ones that use like the chip.
Yep.
Because now over this last year or so, that's been a thing. Retailers are accepting that.
Yes.
I call it chip and dip. I don't know if that's an official term, but and the thing is now, if merchants don't upgrade their hardware, they're liable for any fraudulent activity, because these chip cards, as we've spoken on the show before, help prevent. It's harder to duplicate the card.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's hard to duplicate. It's not. I mean, it can still be duplicated.
There's more protections that are there than there were before.
Yeah, before it was just that number on a mag stripe that could be easily reproduced.
Yeah.
And that just blows my mind. That brand new point of sale hardware that they've put at these locations, invested no telling how much money, because this stuff's obviously custom to Sonic. This is custom.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's probably got some stock components, but the whole thing is built for them.
Sure.
But they did not go the extra mile and do a chip and dip, or where you could do, contactless payments, Apple Pay, Android Pay.
Yeah, they didn't. I
mean, some stores don't take the Apple Pay, Android Pay. That's fine, but they'll do the chip cards.
Yeah. Which I've noticed that some of them, I don't put my PIN in or I don't sign.
Really?
Yes, that has happened to me several times, that I'm waiting for a PIN or for me to sign something, and then all of a sudden my receipt's printing, and I'm just like, oh,
I know some places I go, if it's under a certain amount, it don't make you sign.
Maybe that's what it is. I do a lot of microtransactions.
McDonald's,
but that just blows my mind. That
McDonald's never makes you sign.
That just blows my. I hope you don't spend more than $50 at McDonald's. It just blows my mind that they are still using antiquated. It's antiquated. I mean, there's better
brand new antiquated equipment.
There's better ways to handle that stuff now. But I hate it for the consumers because I may be affected. I just went there in the last few weeks. You said you went, Bruce, the other day. Did
My
you
wife goes
use a credit card
every week. She goes every Friday to get slushies for my daughter and her friend. That is their end of the week treat is a slushie.
Hey, it's a good treat.
If they've been good all week,
may get an extra treat on your credit card bill, unfortunately.
But at least that way, we're protected there, right?
And I used a credit card, not a debit card, so I do have some protections. But I'm about to go on a business trip in like 2 weeks, and it's like, do I need to go ahead and call?
Well, you have the same protections for your debit card.
I'm worried like they'll detect some fraudulent activity while I'm gone on my trip and then cancel my card while I'm gone.
They won't cancel it.
Well, that happened to one of my friends. They canceled his card while he was on vacation.
Oh man! Well, have a second card.
Yeah, and the person did so. But you miss your bonus miles and perks of my I have my little primary card. It's like this is the go-to card. 'Cause I get the best perk, for charging on it. But
Exactly
anyway.
what they want.
Well, I paid off every month.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's another hack of the week, I guess. Unfortunately.
Yeah, man, I hate it for Sonic, and I think their
stock
is.
I saw a there was a
plunge.
CNBC article I read too that was talking about their stock's taking a huge dive because of it. Yeah. So, gosh, I love me some Sonic.
I just want to know when they're gonna do something about Equifax.
Well, it came out that they actually. The breach happened before they said it did.
Well, they had a different breach.
Oh, okay.
Before that.
I misunderstood that.
And I'm trying to remember the name of the other company that had it was like 500 million emails. I think they were UK based.
Was that Hillary server?
Yeah.
No, that was in addition to that.
We'll have something coming out of the Trump administration, I'm sure, because they are using personal email like crazy. A lot of the staff advisors and staff.
Well, something
blows my mind.
Well, there's reports of that, so we'll see.
Shouldn't really.
We'll see if that's true or fake news.
We'll see.
It's just sad when you have to say that about reports. You have to wait and see. But anyway, I don't want to turn into a political.
Oh,
discussion.
I hate to do this, but I got to. You've already laid the gauntlet down.
Uh-oh.
Who?
You. Is using, let's just go with Gmail. It's probably not Gmail,
sure.
but let's just say personal Gmail.
Or
Yahoo. Right.
Woo!
Is that the same exact thing as rolling your own server and telling everybody you weren't doing that when you knew you were doing that? I mean, are you going to blanket?
Oh, well,
I'm not.
No. You're adding additional to what I was just saying.
But you were blanketly saying that.
No, that they're using personal email.
That's correct. Yeah,
which is equivalent to what they were doing.
Not.
Sure, but before
but they're not rolling your own server.
Yeah, but before you were elected, you were criticizing a person for saying
you're
using personal email. But no, I totally agree that at least they didn't say.
I'm not defending. I'm just
we're
asking.
Not using personal email.
I'm just asking the question. Yeah, I mean, I see the hypocrisy there.
Sure.
I get that.
It's not the same because they're not saying we're not doing that. I agree with you on that. They're not trying to hide it.
Forget all that. I was just curious about the thinking. Do you think you would be any safer rolling your own server than if you were relying on Google to protect?
No, you would not be safer rolling your own server. I think Gmail or Google's got it down they've got the security part down pretty good. It's not the best. It's not.
No, and they're going to read you.
But,
they're
going to read
your stuff. I mean,
they're going to advertise to you. But now let's leave Yahoo out of this. But
yeah, I mean,
if you were to use somebody that is they are in the email business.
Yeah, I know. Right.
Then obviously they're going to be better at securing your emails than your homegrown IT, right?
Yeah, I would think so, but
because that is what they are dedicated in doing.
Right.
I'm not saying that there aren't people that can't do it,
right?
But they have larger security.
It's just like businesses that want to pay for 365 or pay for Google for Business.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just
it's commodity now.
They're farming that stuff out.
Yeah, it's like that makes sense. Like you have your own team that can react to things that maybe that things that were missed that they aren't doing, but as far as the ecosystem in itself, like
right.
they've got a lot more dollars invested than what you can.
Right.
Why reinvent the wheel? Somebody's already done it.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Gmail's doing it the best.
No,
But-
we were
but-
just using an example.
Yeah, but
just as an example.
but hey, this service is doing it better than what we can do.
Right. One thing I don't think we covered, but we wanted to cover, is the little thing that popped up that we talked about the I guess it's the FCC, wanting the Apple to turn on their radio. Okay, now this is FM radio on their phones, but we were sort of discussing before the show, even before we read the article, we were discussing between ourselves, that seems like something that wouldn't work because you've eliminated the wire that would allow you to have an
used for an antenna, yeah.
the audio cable. And then we got to reading, and we noticed Apple did come back and say, hey, that we don't even have a chip in there for the 7 or the 8 that would allow for FM radio.
And say they did, and you didn't, and there was no way to plug a headphone in. It might still work, but you'd have to have an extremely strong FM signal.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, that wire did actually do something when you did that.
I remember having phones that you could actually do that on, and it wasn't locked.
My Zune does that, actually. Yeah. I know everybody says, what? What? Is that
what's that?
Is that something you have? Are you going to be able to get rid of it? Do they treat
I had
that?
a buddy, man. He swore by the Zune.
Oh, I do. I like that.
Well, I think it's going to come to the point the FCC may come back and mandate these devices have something.
Well, if it doesn't have it, how you going to turn it? How you going to add
Yeah.
to it?
Well, I mean, but
if available.
no,
Make it available.
they'll start requiring it to be in devices.
That's true. It may.
That's
have
what
to.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It may come to that. Now this
They're already getting more people broadband by lowering the
understand.
requirements.
Yeah, that was funny. I understand the reasoning. I just wish we could stay out of this business. But
I know.
the government's way too big.
Yep.
Let's try to cut it back.
Make America great again.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it.
No, but I just that right there is nonsense. Well, look, we appreciate you hanging in with us, and we hope that you have a wonderful evening. From all of us to all of you, have a fabulous weekend.